Okay, so people knows I'm not kidding about this. As you'll see, I have no teeth. Now, I figured out a way to eat burger and lamb burger like with no teeth at all. You'll see here I have lamb burger. I put like some sweet barbecue sauce mixed with a little bit of alcohol and stuff in it. But before then I was eating it even without it. I just done this for flavor. Now, I will say this has been a week after I had the surgery, but I'm compensating for not having any teeth. As you'll see, in my mouth, which is kind of maybe a bit rude to do that, but what I'm doing is I'm pressing it with my tongue up at the top of my mouth, and then I'm kind of like swallowing it. What I'll do to compensate is also grind with my tongue in the roof of my mouth, which, that being said, it's kind of an odd way to eat, but it does help. It's kind of a trick I've basically figured out how to do, and I'm getting really good at it. Of course, this piece is a little tougher, so it's going to take more time. Hear that swishing in my mouth, just me grinding it up and switching it around. That's pretty good, but I don't think I ever get used to having to look like this entirely. It's kind of weird feeling. Doesn't hurt, and it's manageable. It's just really weird. I'm also having to get used to having to gulp my food down. Kind of a bit weird. But hell, I gotta eat something, and solid food are what I've been wanting to get back to. There was a YouTuber I've been watching called Your Favorite Dental Wear. He was mentioning thinking outside of the box to compensate. So I got to thinking about methods to help me eat with no teeth when I can't grind it up with my gums. My gums aren't sore and the blood clot's fully there, but my mouth and gums are like very, very uneven. So I can't bite down straight. Since if I want to eat anything solid right now, I have to use not my gums, but I have to use my tongue and the roof of my mouth. I cannot use my gums. But I've been wanting to eat a burger since I've had my all my teeth pulled out, and I figured out a way to even eat something like this. Now, I will say, a week after all your teeth is removed, even doing it like this may not be doable for everybody. Because one thing when you got all your teeth removed is it makes your jaw stiff to move, and that can last different periods of time depending on the person. And the thing is with me, I typically have very fast recovery rate, even if I don't get a lot of sleep, which is typically the norm of me. I don't get good sleep. I have a hard time getting to sleep, and then with sleep apnea crippled with that, yeah, you kind of get the point. I've never tried lamb burger before until now, but I gotta say, I actually like it. But if you want to eat without any teeth at all, you're gonna have to think outside the box and do things a bit unconventionally and a bit strangely. Now, the reason I say strangely is I typically be outside the norm, but what works, norm or not. That being said and done, you gotta be able to enjoy life, and one part of that is eating the food you enjoy. Now, I will admit, eating like this can get you choked, so you got to be careful, which about anybody knows that. I'm just saying that to exercise caution. On top of that, it's not good on the digestive system. So, it may not be the best and safest method to eat, but depriving yourself of nutrients ain't good for you either. So, as the old saying goes, nourishment helps you, and if there's any way you can get nourishment, do what you can. And I'll tell you, the first time trying these burgers like this, I tell you, I really love them. I would prefer these over cow burgers. Funny thing, it's taking me over an hour, and I still ain't finished the whole thing. Meaning, with this method, it's workable, but it's hard to do. And I'm going to be having to get that little syringe over there to clean my mouth out after this. I will say, if you can do this, please don't, unless the sockets are healed up enough, which not everybody's going to have them healed to that point in their time. I did. And if you get dry socket, according to what I read up, that's far worse than any cavity. And foods like this, if you eat it too soon, it can dislodge the blood clot, and you're going to be in a world of pain. Luckily, so far I haven't had dry socket. So, anyway, I wanted to make this video in case anybody that sees that just has their teeth removed. I want them to know there are ways you can eat solid foods, but I also want to caution them, recovery rate is going to determine when you can eat it, and then on top of that, it's got a bit of risk involved in doing it. So please keep that in mind. But I also understand being stuck on liquid diets. It's not something I want to do for like a month. I understand the healing process is crucial, but I'm about healed up anyway, even though I could have been completely hindered for a month or even more. That's what my the paper said. Of course, that's probably on the most extreme ends. But with me, I typically have fast recovery rates. And that's when I should, even times I shouldn't. Anyway, I'm still working on this one piece though. Some pieces are softer, some are harder on this lamb burger. Anyway, I thought that would actually be an interesting video to do. And I think I'm going to be giving my mouth a break and put the rest of this up for later. Anyway, see ya.